Shakshuka, a silken tofu egg casserole.
Hi guys, it's Saturday around here. We just worked out in the backyard, got a sweat going, and now we're going to make brunch. So actually lunch, because it's after lunch. We had our coffee and now we didn't want to eat before working out because that felt a little too heavy. Usually we'll do a smoothie or our soy yogurt or oatmeal a little bit in the morning before we start our workout. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I have air fried some Yuca, which is, I will put it on here, I'll write it up. I'm going to toss it with a little bit of Nooch, and it's just simple tossing. And I'm not going to put any herbs or any seasoning because I don't want it to burn. This is a complete experiment. We're going to put this Yuca in the air fryer and we're going to try to make Yuca fries. So while I make our shakshuka for our lunch, this Yuca is going to air fry. So I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to try and do 12 minutes and see how we go from there. And Jay knows that he usually has to check and shake. So I'm going to start from scratch so you guys can see how quickly this goes. I'm going to get a knife. I haven't really prepared anything. All I've done is taken out the shallots that we had in a little Tupperware, and we had them sliced up. Sometimes we keep shallots in a little Tupperware sliced up. We have our little tomatoes. All of these have been washed. So I'm going to do what I normally do, which is saute my shallots and my tomatoes first for my shakshuka. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to keep this water by the stove. You guys know that you can saute with either water, veggie broth, or aquafaba. I'm just going to do it with water, and Jay's going to get me more water when he comes back. I don't have my blue gooses. Usually I have a cup that we call the blue goose of water. So I am going to start with the shallots. I'm going to take these tomatoes out. And I have these little pans that I make the shakshuka in, these, and we make an individual serving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you both ways. Hopefully I don't burn anything on my stove. When I'm trying to show you guys on camera, I have to put things on the stove for you guys to be able to see it. And it always scares me that I'm going to melt it. Okay, so I've got whatever tomatoes you want. If you have big tomatoes, if you have grape tomatoes, if you have these little tomatoes, I just use whatever I have. So usually when I see that my tomatoes are going bad, that's what I use. So that is the perfect scenario. When your tomatoes are kind of getting a little wrinkly and bad, that's what you use. So I'm just going to saute this shallot. And one thing that I want you guys to see, and I don't know what I did with it, here it is for this dish, we like to use kala namak. It's a black salt. Don't just buy black salt. It is called kala namak, but we only use a little bit. You know that I say no salt, but for this, it gives it an eggy flavor if you guys want. If not, it tastes delicious without it. Honey, can you get me one of these of water, filled with water, so that we have it by the stove? Okay, so I'm going to be sauteing my shallots, and then I'm going to be sauteing my tomatoes. For this dish, what you want to do is saute your shallots and your tomatoes first, and then you're going to start building your spices. I'm going to put some in my individual little pan. This is how we normally make it. And then each person gets an entire little bowl. I'm I'm going to keep drizzling water just a tiny bit so that I can keep sauteing it. And then I'm going to build flavors. I'm going to put shallot powder. I'm going to put dried shallots, even though I put fresh ones. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to put, you don't have to use any of the stuff that I'm using if you don't have it. Just use what you have. So garlic powder would be one. Onion powder would do the same thing as shallot powder. Then I like to build the turmeric. So I'm going to keep drizzling the water. When I see that it's sticking, I let it stick a little bit, and then I drizzle it again to unstick it, and it starts caramelizing it. So I'm going to put turmeric in here. That's going to give the silken tofu a little bit of yellow, just like an egg would. So this is basically a silken tofu brunch breakfast. I'm putting some garam masala. I'm putting some za'atar. Like I said, if you don't like any of these flavors, just leave it to garlic and powdered onion. We like spicy, so we're doing a little cayenne. And I'm going to make a big batch over here on the side, because then Jay, during the week, can spread it on Ezekiel toast or sourdough toast. Here you go, honey. And I'm going to be slicing up some mushrooms directly into the pot. You guys know that I do not like using a cutting board if I don't have to. This is how quickly this comes together. Look, all my stuff is cooking down. I just keep a lot of water by the fridge. Ooh, I'm probably going to get turmeric on my white shirt. Oh well. I'm going to have to directly wash it today. I already burnt a dress yesterday. Yesterday we were going out to dinner, to a fancy dinner, and I was trying to steam a dress, and I burnt and ruined it. Okay, so we've got some mushrooms in here, and I'm going to continue to put more mushrooms, and I'm just going to cook this down. This is going to take no time at all. It's about building the flavors. And then I'm going to wilt some spinach. It's whatever you have. If you have spinach, you put spinach in it. Half the time we don't have spinach in the house. If you have kale, put kale in it. This is a spinach and herb dressing that does not have any salt or sodium. I'm going to put some spinach in here and wilt it. I'm going to keep building the mushrooms. And if I wanted to, this shakshuka can become a pasta sauce. It can become anything you want it to. So spread on toast is delicious. We're going to eat it with the yuca fries. If the yuca fries turn out in the air fryer, Jay's going to shake them around. Oh, look at that. That's the trick. That's the trick. You just have to keep shaking whatever you have in the air fryer every once in a while. And we got to get them crispy. Yuca by nature is going to stay a little creamy on the inside and crispy on the outside. And I made them a little bit thicker, so they're more like steak fries, but they're yuca. I forgot the English name of yuca. Do you know, Jay? Yeah, they're like, we saw it at Aldi. Aldi has yuca, guys, but I can't remember the name. I just bought it like 2 days ago. All right. There we go. So our tomatoes, our spinach has reduced, our mushrooms. I'm going to keep them a little al dente. You can reduce them even more. We need the soy yogurt, babe. I'm going to put a tiny bit of Nooch in both, just to give it a little umami flavor. And maybe a tiny bit of curry in this one. Oh boy, I'm really going to end up yellow. My shirt is really going to end up yellow. No, that is, sorry, soy milk. I always say the wrong things, and Jay usually understands my Anna Maria speak, but he forgot that we use soy milk. And I'm dripping sweat, guys, because I'm standing here over the heat. Plus, we just worked out. So I've got the residual just worked out. Ooh, that curry smells good. All right, that's it. So now I'm going to put just a little bit of silken tofu. And I'm going to scramble it up just like you would eggs. It's going to turn yellow, just like a scrambled egg. And look, you don't even have to be fancy. You can grab it straight out of the container. It's about building the flavors, and this gets spread on toast, or the Yuca fries become like a way to dip into here. We can also take some sourdough toast. So I'm going to put the rest in here. Here, babe, I'm going to give you this. He's a great sous chef. He anticipates all the stuff that I need. All right. So, fun fact, Jay always traveled for work, and he did not know his way around the kitchen, and my best friend and I could dance around the kitchen. So he always got jealous that she and I could dance around the kitchen and help each other. And after 2020, he didn't have to travel so much. So he ended up learning. And he's become my greatest sous chef. I want you guys to see, that's the individual serving. Look at that beauty. We're going to let it caramelize and consume a little bit. I hit it with a tiny bit of Eden soy milk because I like to put a little bit of creaminess to it. And the milk is going to give it that. We can even put a tiny bit more Nooch. Stir it around. I can even put more Nooch in here. And do not add sodium, guys, because you're going to use your California balsamics, or you're going to use other methods like black garlic, or toasted onions, or whatever it is. Crunchy chickpeas could go in here. Use your little imagination on what to top with. You could chop up some cilantro, some green onions if you would like. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this soy milk, and then I put the lid on it to let it consume some, and then I'm going to do the same thing, and we're done. That's it. Breakfast is done. How are the Yuca fries doing, babe? Good. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's show them with a big plate. Let's do the big plate with the napkin under it, and I'll plate this so that they can see it. So I am going to taste the sauce. I'm going to plate yours so they can see it. And this one we can just let sit here and reduce. And you can either put the lid on it or not. I'm going to try it. Yum, yum, yum. I'm going to put a tiny bit more heat. Yeah, to my right would be great. Are the air fries done? Done? Ooh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Those Yuca fries look really good. I have to figure out the American name to tell you guys, or the English name. All right, so I'm putting a little cayenne pepper on it because we like heat. You do not have to if you do not like heat. So again, some of the things that I used were turmeric, smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder. I use cayenne pepper, za'atar, garam masala, curry. You do not have to use any of the Indian spices if you do not like it. It will come out delicious just with onion powder, garlic powder. If you don't even like paprika, don't put it in. Put a little turmeric, put some onion powder, put some garlic powder. If you want heat, put a little cayenne pepper. So you guys saw how I started. Some shallots, some tomatoes, some mushrooms, cook it all down, and then add your silken tofu, and that's it. You've got this delicious bread called shakshuka. I'll show you this one. Let's see if I can lift it without burning myself. Here we go. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you where the fries, baby. Here, bring it over here. I'm going to show you guys. Yep. Look at that. This deliciousness. We can even cook it down some more. And then we are going to serve it with the yuca fries. They're crunchy just like a fry would be. And oh, oof, they are crunchy. Mmm. Delicious. Mmm. There you go, guys. Hi, foodies. I'm going to show you real quick how to make the yuca fries. This is yuca. I put it, the yuca, I cut it, I peeled it and cut it into sticks, and then I put it in the Instant Pot, high pressure for 5 minutes. That's it. And then when it came out, it's completely already in sticks. I tossed it with some Nooch, not even measuring. I just tossed it with some Nooch, and then I stuck it in the air fryer for around 12 minutes, and I kept shaking, and we ended up with these delicious, I'll show you, yuca fries. So from this to this, golden deliciousness with a crusting of Nooch. Bye guys, have a happy day.
Follow us on all of our social media channels by the same name: YouTube, Instagram, and our Facebook private support page.